I am the founder and owner, or partial owner of Clean Energy Associates. I established the company in 2008 to become a technical advisory firm that will provide tangible, impactful support for our clients involving supply chain, quality assurance, and a variety of other services for both the solar and energy storage industry. And I think the catalyst for me reaching out back in 2015 is I had at that point joined an organization called Entrepreneurs Organization, and I started to see and understand what a coach actually does, and I realized there was a gap in our leadership team, and I realized if I had a coach, I could augment my capabilities more, and I could gain massive experience with someone externally who is better suited to scale businesses and who had done that before because I had not. At that time, CA kind of flatlined right around 45 or 50. And so there was a period of a couple of years where we didn't have any growth. We were kind of this transition. And that's when I sought out to say, I really need to find some external help. Look, I think the interviewing process was one that was almost non-existent at CEA. I recognized that there was a lot of problem. We had a turnover of our team, so I had not I did not establish clear culture. I did have core values, but I did not practice them, and I didn't. There were a lot of HR and personnel issues which were becoming more and more real. That something was wrong. And so I didn't realize it at the time, but I had a toxic culture where I myself was part of the big part of the problem. I was not living the culture or the future culture of CEA. So I had to kind of fix myself before I could really help grow and expand the company. But I also hired an HR director who, on paper, had a lot of experience, but she was actually very toxic and mistreated the team in ways that I was blinded by and did not see because I was traveling so much. So really not just making sure that I was aligned with the culture, but the leadership team was aligned. And that's what precipitated a lot of changeover and upgrading of the leadership team. I think that was one of the big value add areas that you helped so much, Mike, was just you interviewed every director on up from 2015 until just recently. And that had
Yeah.
a massive implication because I had someone externally with a lot of gray hair, a lot of chops. Every candidate was always blown away. And it made me appear much more grown up when I still had no clue about my business. So that was a big help. Not just the articulation of values, but the reinforcement time and time again, and like creating these traditions and patterns of communication. Just, I mean, the buy-in you see very clearly from the team NPS results, which over the course of there was that stretch for the first couple of years where it was negative or a zero, and then we started to hit the rocket ship growth, and it just jumped, right through COVID, and then it kind of is flatlined a little bit the last 2 to 3 years, but once again, as you get new people on board, it's about getting them bought in, and I'm very pleased with where we're at. But like those that I felt a lot of pride about team member engagement as measured by team NPS. And the financial results are obviously clear, but just the ability to have a company that is sellable was not entirely dependent on myself. I mean, I definitely felt like there was an inflection point in 2015 and 16 where I realized I did need to hire a head of sales. And then I realized I made mistakes hiring that person time and time again. And then we had to get an interim sales head who had to come back again. Each time we kind of made the transition better and better. We learned from our mistakes, but it still took a while to get there. But the reality is like the financial numbers just show for itself. I have this old setting in my Outlook, and for whatever reason it does, like I dismiss it, but it keeps coming back. But it had the 2017 metrics we're trying to get to, like 13 million, which is just it's a joke of a number now as I think about it, but like it's like, gosh, that was our annual goal. I would say go talk to the existing customers, which I did. I would say go talk and look at other options, which I did. And you will find that very few folks have the depth of Mike's broader skills and capabilities, as well as the programming. I think the fact that we've went through our leadership development program that was launched six plus years
Yeah.
ago, and that was the point where we did not have any kind of leadership training or any other methodology. It was a massive, massive uptick, and it really helped fill part of the gap on the training and development side. So I would encourage someone who's going through, like, scour the market, but wait, do your homework and make a very fair assessment of the different players in the market, and that's where, to me, it worked out really, really well.